Today we're going to be spectating a top 500 Star-Lord to see what he does better and how we can improve together. So we have our guy here Saintfully, and we're going to be seeing how he does the Star-Lord. The main thing we need to look out for is how he uses his jetpack and also how he uses all of his abilities, because what's good about Star-Lord is that you get a lot of iframes, and what that means is there's basically frames in the game where you're pretty much invincible and you cannot die. That is when he does that ability where he kind of spins round, but also when he does his flips as well. You cannot take damage during the flips, so you need to make use of that when you're using Star-Lord, because it's going to keep you alive a lot longer than you'd expect, right? He's getting healed up pretty well here as well. And there's actually a combo with Star-Lord, if you did not know, where if you shoot your full mag, do a flip, shoot your full mag, do a flip, and then end it off before you finish your mag with the kind of spin attack, that gives you insane amounts of burst damage with Star-Lord. And it's a kind of combo. Obviously it's not quite a combo like some of the other heroes, but it allows you to output loads of damage with Star-Lord. So as you can see here, he's using his jetpack to thrust himself into the air, then he gets into the spin, and then he starts using the flips right after that. He uses a double flip sometimes, which I think is kind of inefficient. I don't know if he does it on purpose to try and just stay alive during the fight. And he's got the Adam Warlock team up, which is absolutely insane, man. I like that team up. I think it's great, and I think a lot of more people should be using it, especially in the higher ranks, especially since Star-Lord's a really strong character. They're also using Mantis as well, actually, on the team, which just kind of makes it even better. But as you can see here, man, the ultimate of Star-Lord is something I hate so much. I don't think it's broken because you can obviously kill him through it, but just the amount of damage it does is just insane. And he's using his spin ability like ridiculously well. Star-Lord's one of those heroes where you can get just tons of kills with. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if world record kills get broken with Star-Lord, because like him and Punisher are quite interchangeable in terms of how much damage you can do. And that is the first time he's died, which, to be fair, man, that is insane. The amount of damage and kills he's probably gotten at this point. And he managed to get rezzed by the Adam Warlock, so he's still not dead yet, which is insane. That's how this team up is so broken. And as you can see, he's using the ability, not just using it, but he's using it to kind of carry himself upwards over the cover, which, to be fair, is really good movement from this guy. He's using his jetpack in bursts. He doesn't use it like all in the one go to fly like straight up, unless he maybe tries to kill a flyer at some point. And when he doesn't need to waste the flips, he's not using them obviously because there's no one there to use it on. You can use it when you're inside a fight. He stopped firing now because the Magneto would get extra damage on his ultimate. If he kept firing there, the Magneto obviously counter-ulted him. So he kind of wasted his ultimate. To some extent, he still got a little bit of damage after the fact. And the Iron Fist is on him now, so you should be careful of that, obviously, because the Iron Fist is dealing damage. But the way he puts himself into the air to then do the spin ability, I think is absolutely insane. I think he's got that absolutely down. And the thing that I struggle with is picking the perfect time to use that ability. And I think he's got it absolutely down perfectly. And everything else with Star-Lord is pretty straightforward, I think, for the most part, especially for me anyway. I think he's a very easy and simple character to kind of use. He's got his ultimate again. Building up ultimate charge with Star-Lord is so easy, man. Like, if you're a good Star-Lord player, you can get your ultimate at least 3 to 4 times in a round, which is insane. I think it's pretty crazy if you think about it. He's already had it like, what, 3 times now? Which is nuts. Compared to some of the other ultimates and the other characters in this game, like, that is pretty strong. Soul bonded on that ability there, otherwise he would have got a kill potentially. And obviously you can just dump mags into tanks as well, because that's going to build up ult charge for you. So it's not a bad thing to do with Star-Lord. So he might look like he's not doing too much besides just kind of dealing damage on people that are getting healed up, but building up ult charge with Star-Lord is very easy. But like I said, dumping mags into a tank is not a bad idea either. And as you can see here, he wasn't dying through the spin ability, but you want to use it when he's slightly up higher into the air. So you waited for the Magneto ult to then try and kill him. And the main thing is you don't want to feed the Magneto ultimate, right? Because obviously if you feed it too much it pops, but if you feed it just enough, then he's going to get a good amount of damage from it. This guy's movement is really good, man, like really insane. The way he uses the spin to get to higher ground, so even when he's not jetpacking and stuff, you got a good handful of kills there, man. Ultimate was perfect use. So now they're just pushing the cart, obviously. They want to be together whilst they're doing that. They could have pushed up slightly farther up whilst the cart was just doing its own thing. Now they've got a Wolverine on the team. Getting a flank on. So as you can see, flanked the enemy team there when he done his spin. Star-Lord's a good flanker as well, actually. He's almost kind of like a dive character. Just because of the way his moveset is set up. He's like a kind of flank dive kind of character. Kind of similar to Psylocke. But also you can be ranged as well with him, which is pretty good if you really need to be. Not that he's effective at range, but if you just need to sit back for a little bit, then you can do that from time to time. This has been quite a bit of a domination, to be honest. And this Star-Lord's definitely helped out a ton. He's got his ultimate here if he needs it. It'll be surprising to see when he pops it. So he pops it now. To try and kill the supports. And he's focusing the supports here, which he gets the opposite team Mantis, I believe. Now that we're halfway through this video, if you are enjoying it, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, as we like to spectate high level players, low level players, and any world records in between that. Star-Lord is a hero that I think most people could pick up and play, and that is why I think this video in particular is useful for most people. Also, that Adam Warlock team up is absolutely insane. So if you want to see a video on that, then please click the link at the end of this video, as we will be showing that off as well and how to use it correctly. Let's get straight back into it. And now he's using his movement to kind of get into good parts to cover. So he's trying to stay above the enemy team, so it's like a kind of higher up angle. And he's not just staying on the ground constantly, which is something that you do need to keep in mind. So when you do have your rocket available and you do have the spin available as well, then you kind of want to be kind of slightly above the ground, so you're not like ground level essentially here. Now you're trying to get a flank on, he couldn't get it, so he just got out of there, used the jetpack. And that's the only time you kind of want to use the full jetpack, is if you're trying to escape a certain area and you need the extra height. Again, he's using his jetpack thrust just to kind of get him to certain spots. You don't need to be holding it in constantly because he's not a flying hero. And you don't want to be wasting this ability for no reason. Again, get a good flank on here. And again, using that spin ability here, which is insane. And then he uses it again, like I said, to position well afterwards. So he knows his way out, so he's timed it so that he can get straight out after using it as well, which is insane to do. And he's got his ultimate built up again. And he's aiming for, I'm not too sure who he's aiming at, I can't really see because his teammates are covering that. And he does his spin again. And the enemy team's still not dead on the point here. The Loki was healing them up quite a bit from what I've seen. So again, using that spin ability, I think that's the kind of main thing this guy is really doing well with. He's focusing the support now, got that down, but obviously she will get the res because Mantis has got the team up on the opposite team as well. So that's just something to remember. You don't need to kill the opponent. Once you've killed them, they're out of the game for a couple of seconds anyway, so you don't need to follow them if they're getting a res. It's kind of no point. Especially in these high level games where you need to have your focus on the enemy players that are alive and doing actual damage or capturing the point and things. So again, he's doing this flanking very well here. His movement is keeping him alive very well. He's using his jetpack efficiently, and he's using his flips in between that as well. And then, like I said, the reposition with the spin is what he does extremely well. Ultimate charge built up again, and he needs to stop firing. Every time he does his ultimate, the Magneto obviously ults as well to soak up all the bullets. But then he stops firing, obviously, because he doesn't want to feed the Magneto, like I mentioned before. The rest of Star-Lord is pretty straightforward, obviously, because he is just a point-and-shoot kind of character. Other than his movement, which I think was a really cool character design, he's mainly point-and-shoot. As you can see here, doing a bit of damage, getting that spin in there, getting back out, bit of damage. getting the flips in as well. Got a damage boost. That's quite good with having Mantis on your teams, that you get that damage boost, and for Star-Lord is actually pretty strong. Because not only is he one of the fastest killing characters in the entire game, having a damage boost on top of that is insane. So it means your mags can clear certain targets a bit better. If you land all your shots, that is. Good ultimate from the Wolverine there, and obviously they've got a Winter Soldier on the team too. Got his ultimate again. Ultimate charge, try to get the Winter Soldier out, which he does, and you probably get this thing as well. And then finishes the ultimate on the spawn point, or this kind of respawn point that the Adam Warlock created. Pulling off a flank now. They've not managed to move this point whatsoever. This was a really good spawn trap, man. Like, they've had them there for a very, very long time. So now he's just dealing damage here. And waiting for his jetpack cooldown, which obviously is something you need to incorporate into your gameplay as well, to know when your jetpack's available as well, not just your cooldowns. So he's getting healed up pretty well here as well. And he got hit with the ability, even though he tried to flip out of it. And the one thing I think about Star-Lord that's a little bit broken is just how quickly he can build up ultimate, because this guy's had like ultimate so many times and he's almost about to get another one. And I just think the way he builds up ultimate charge is obviously really easy, so it should be a little bit more expensive in my opinion, but that is one thing I do think about Star-Lord is slightly too broken. It'll be interesting to see if they make any changes to him in the Season 2 update. Focusing the support here again and gets them out of the game. Easily can kill the thing because he does a lot of damage. Pushing them back into spawn again, so they're back up to the spawn kind of area. Getting some heals up, fly straight back into the fight. Probably going to give us another spin. Got soul bonded. Not used his spin ability just yet. The timing of his spins is really good actually. I think he uses it when obviously there's a lot of enemy players in one spot. And now, yeah, exactly. So that's like the perfect timing to use that. Because it's going to deal a lot of damage, build up a lot of ultimate charge as well. You're not really going to get any kills with that ability, but it does do damage, and obviously you get, like I said, loads of ult charge doing it. The one thing I want to understand is why he double flips sometimes. That is the one thing I am not 100% sure why he does, because I feel like that's really inefficient. If anyone knows the reason why, if it's just a kind of movement reason or if it's just to stay alive longer, then please leave it in the comments, because I'm not really too sure why he does that. Gets a finish on the spin. It's good if the enemy's low HP, you don't really need to focus them, you can just get a spin, get an easy kill there. Loki's got his lamps down, so he's not going to get any finishes on the Loki unless he tries to shoot the lamps. Or you can just wait for them to run out, essentially. One of the two. Loki got taken out as well there. And he's getting a lot of finishes, man. This guy's doing extremely well. So there we have it. There's our guy Saintfully going 41-3, which is an extremely strong game, and he also gets MVP as well. His jetpack use is very efficient. Also, when he does his spin ability, he knows how to use it in the correct timing, where he's going to build up a lot of ultimate charge as well as deal as much damage as possible. And also his flips, although a couple of times when he uses a double flip, I think he uses it at the correct timings. So that is something you do need to learn with Star-Lord. Other than that, you just want to output as much damage as possible, and hopefully you can get some damage buffs along the way. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.